Ready for your driving lesson?
My name is Erwin K. Kauper, and I'm the owner of the driveway in question.
We had just had Martin for 1 year, and he was going to be needing a room of his own. So that gave us 3 bedrooms.
We were looking for a place away from the coast where it was cold in the summertime, and we found a lot at the end of Vanderhoof that we could buy, and so we bought the lot and arranged for a contractor in, of all places, San Marino, to build the house for us, which also included a driveway up to the top of the house, which was part of what was called Covina Mesa.
That became our driveway in 1960 when we purchased this lot and decided that we'd like a house that would have a good view of Mount Baldy. So that made it necessary to have a driveway that curved.
The driveway has a slight curve to it, to which people who don't know any better, strangers, have a problem with. We've had a UPS truck go off the side of the driveway into our hillside.
He did get stuck in the driveway for quite a while.
All I know is they had to get a wrecker to come out and straighten it out and get it off. And who else has done that?
When we first became acquainted with Coral.
Oh, and Rossi's friend Corey had a pickup truck.
And her first attempt at driving down the backing up on our driveway was that she failed to notice the curve.
She also managed to get off on the side of the driveway.
And so she went straight down the hill and ended up at the second sycamore tree. It spared her from a pretty steep little cliff at the bottom of the property.
But she was able to pull herself out of that.
The tree worked well for her, but she never volunteered to drive her car down the hill again.
I've not like gone off it, but I have on the right side hooked a tire over the edge of it.
We've done in a lot of jade plants.
And it's bad feeling.
My mother was driving a Rambler, and at that time there was space at the top of our driveway where one could easily turn around, and so with a few twists and turns she was able to turn the Rambler around without power steering, and would head down the driveway head first. And it always worked out pretty well, as far as I remember.
And of course, a certain person named Samantha was able to leave her car on the top of the driveway, and it gradually started moving and ended up at the bottom of the driveway against the sycamore tree.
Well, I was in the bathroom and one day, I had just dropped the kids off at school, and I had parked in the driveway, and I heard this little tiny thunk in the distance. And I didn't think anything of it. And about 10 minutes later, my mother-in-law comes charging into the house, looking for me. And she runs up to me and says, "My God, are you all right?"
Fleur Lucille kept her cool. And I didn't get too excited.
The car was in total ruin.
It was actually they couldn't fix the car. They trashed it.
It was all locked up, and I could only get into the car to see if there was a body there by crawling through the back window. It had been shattered by the accident, but Samantha was nowhere to be found.
And I said, "Of course I'm all right. Are you all right?" And she said, "Well, yes, but we thought that you had crashed the car." And it turns out that the brakes had failed, and the car had rolled backwards down the driveway and crashed into the tree that all the cars that roll down that driveway crash into.
It was quite an unnerving sight.
I did set the handbrake, and I did put the car in first gear, and I have since gotten a lot of little implications and hints that maybe this time I did not set the handbrake. But I did set the handbrake, and I don't know why the handbrake would fail, and I don't know why it would have gone out of first gear, but I absolutely set the handbrake.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I set the handbrake, I think.
I used to drive my dad's 1960 VW, and that car was very underpowered. And in order to get up the driveway without stalling out, it was usually necessary to take it at kind of a fast speed. So what I would do generally is I would get up some speed coming down Vanderhoof here. Now back then the street was straight and we didn't have this cul-de-sac, so I'd follow the curve right here, and then I'd have to cut over abruptly like this, and then momentum would take us up. Piece of cake. Oh really, it was.
And my other relationship with the driveway is I really like to go down it fast, backwards.
Why?
I just like it.
Yes, I usually tell people that are new to the driveway to the best way to do it is to look out the driver's side door.
The part that was tricky was getting down, and this is what we had to learn first. Because if you want to take a driving lesson, you had to get down.
Well, I personally make sure that the window is open so I can put my head out and get a good view.
Check very carefully on your left shoulder for the cleaning lady, who is a very quiet but fast person.
And then I aim the back of the car for the second plant.
I'd say take it slow a few times.
And stay as close to that side of the driveway as they can as they maneuver down.
And when Irwin tells you that you need to do the little turn at the end, you gotta listen to that, or else you're gonna just completely nick your right bumper on the tree. And the tree doesn't need any more. The tree's had enough.
I remember one incident where the family car and the car that belonged to one of the boys that met in the middle, one coming up and one going down.
You know, what I did leave out was the fact that the youngest son came down the driveway when I was trying to go up it.
We almost recreated old times. We almost recreated old times.
And I think of nothing worse than having two cars in the same family colliding with each other. The scene that I saw from the inside of the Chevy or whatever it was, I'd forgotten what car I had.
The Chevy station wagon went way back.
But I could see this car coming.
One might have been the squareback.
And I realized that this was going to result in a collision.
It was an unfortunate circumstance because our family just was covered by one insurance policy.
I was put out.
I think that about sums up all the excitement that we can crowd into the one driveway.